Wednesday night, Fly Eagles Fly. Hashtag the Elite. Hey, training camps here. They hitting. They got pass on. So we gonna hear a lot coming out about who's real and who's not. We got the top 100. A lot of teams is dropping. My man AJ Brown in the top quarter of the list, loving that, and a lot of other players on the list. So a lot to talk about. So little time, but that's all right. As long as we handle it right, we're gonna be good. And of course, we keep it moving with these 2 of their game reviews. We got the Giants and we got the Bears. So everybody, stay tuned, get ready, and we're gonna make this thing happen. So go ahead and pop off first, my man. Wyatt was really good, bro.
What's going on, man? Another week, another show, another day closer to the regular season. But we still got training camp and preseason here coming up. I'm ready to get into it, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Eagles Diva, what it do?
What's going on, y'all? I can smell Eagles football season around the corner, y'all. I can smell it. It's here.
It's close.
It smells delicious, by the way. I smell it too. So, hey, y'all, it's a lot to talk about, right? It's a whole lot to talk about. So we're going to get into it. But before we do, y'all know how we got to set this thing off. We got to set the mood so we can get right. Let's go.
The kick is away, and the kick is, it's gone! And the Eagles win!
It's hard to come to South Philadelphia and leave here with the win. We just don't come to Philadelphia and leave here with the win.
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin.
All right. So looks like we do have some comments. Whoever we have is commenting, appreciate you. If you could hop over on the YouTube side, because it doesn't look like you've given StreamYard access to for us to be able to see your comments on the Facebook side. But Fly Eagles Fly always, and hey, we still appreciate you checking us out.
Yeah.
But Wyatt, Diva, hey, it's a lot to talk about. So Wyatt, it's time for those Eagles updates. What you got?
The biggest one this week, and in case anybody out there has been living under a rock, you may have known those Eagles have dropped those Kelly Greens officially. They released a whole thing on Monday. They even announced last week they were going to be doing on Monday, but of course, knowing the internet, everything has to leak a couple days early. So we got to see some of those pictures over the weekend, and of course they released a dope hype video on Monday announcing the games and everything. I'm a little disappointed we're only wearing them for 2 games this season, though. I thought it was going to be a couple more, but it's October 22nd against the Dolphins and November 26th against the Bills.
Yep. We only do get 2 games of them. I love the hype video. I'm not as excited as everybody else about the Kelly Green jerseys. I'm not upset about them, but it's just not that old school color. I'm like, Nike, you had a year. Come on, bro. They're a different color. They are lighter. They're closer to the old school Kelly Green and the other jerseys. This ain't the old school Kelly Green. But if this was what they released last year, we'd be good. But you had a whole year to get the color combination right. Come on, Nike. Mm-hmm. What is really good with y'all? This is more slight on Nike, in my opinion. But not complaining, just love that old Kelly Green.
If I had a complaint, it wouldn't even be really about the jerseys themselves. I wish the pants were more silver. They're kind of like a grayish white. I wish they were like a silver, kind of like the old throwback unis.
Yeah, they did a little color doling down, it seems like. But hey, man, we still got them.
Yeah, it's good to have that old school logo, have the old helmets back and everything. It's going to be dope to see. I ended up going out. I didn't go to the stadium and get one. I ordered them online, but I ended up scooping a Son Reddick Kelly Green jersey.
That's not a bad jersey to scoop, sir. Definitely not a bad jersey to scoop.
I got a number 1.
I was about to say,
got a number 1.
I know Diva got that QB1.
Yes, I got that.
See, I already had the midnight green QB1, so I wanted to get someone I didn't have already. And I mean, it was between Goddard and Hassan Reddick, and I didn't have a defensive player yet, so I was like, I gotta get ready.
Well, I would have. I was gonna get Bradbury, but by the time I got to it, the options was limited.
Yeah, they were flying off the shelves. You know, I know the site was crashing whenever they first dropped for a minute.
Yeah, like people was sitting outside the stadium since like 3 a.m. to grab.
Crazy. People were tailgating the jersey release.
Yeah, it was wild. Yeah, the things I saw, you know, and everything was wild. And I wanted to also shout out AJ Brown. So we'll talk about where he lands on the list in a minute here, but I saw some clips from practice. Basically, everyone that had his jersey on, whether you had the Kelly green, the white, or the green, at practice, he was going over after practice, after training camp, and he was signing everybody's jersey. So I saw him sign probably about 15, 20 jerseys from different clips I saw, man. So shout out to AJ Brown for just really embracing Philly, embracing the city, man, and showing the fans some love, because AJ Brown gets a lot of love from fans too, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Who doesn't love AJ Brown?
Yeah.
All right, so we got Philly with a couple of comments here.
Philly.
We got I'm here. Good evening. What up, Philly? Our Facebook friends, we get an oh yes. The Kelly Green's favorite. If you have a chance, like I said, hop over on the Facebook. on the YouTube side, and that's youtube.com/that Eagles Elite Podcast. We're not able to see your comments on Facebook from Facebook because you haven't given StreamYard the ability to access your information. Philly says she has a throwback jersey, the Reggie White. I have a throwback Eric Allen. Philly, I got a throwback Eric Allen.
I have a Reggie White one as well. I got Dawkins. I'm wearing my Cunningham one right now.
I want the white Cunningham.
Yeah.
The white. I have a white Reggie White one.
Yeah, I want that white Cunningham. I don't have it yet, but it's going to happen. I'm going to get that Mitchell and Ness. We're going to make that happen for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Diva, any thoughts you got on the Kelly Green jersey?
I mean, yeah, they are a little light. But I mean, what do you expect? I mean, back in the day, those jerseys was made by Champion, and those were like real authentic jerseys. So I'm not surprised by Nike not really giving us the original Kelly Green, but it's the Eagles jersey, so I had to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I gotta show some love. Definitely. All right, so Wyatt, what else you got for us?
Yeah, I mean, Howie out here cooking once again. No trades or anything, but it seems like something may be imminent. Because a familiar face we haven't actually seen in a while, old Derek Barnett. He agreed to a restructured contract. He was originally due $7.5 million with $1.5 guaranteed. He's now due $3.5 fully guaranteed with $250,000 in in-game bonuses. So it went down quite a bit there. So, you know, Howie kind of moving some money around on the books. Who knows what he's trying to cook up here? Apparently, there's rumors that he's looking at a safety somewhere. He's kind of perusing the league for a safety at this point. So they say.
Yep, definitely saw that happened. I wouldn't be upset if he was perusing for one, and I know one out there that, you know, a little trade capital would get us, but I'm not even going to go there. We're not even going to do that today. We do that almost every week. I'm not going to do it today. We're not going to do it today, y'all. We're not going to do it today.
That's all the news I really had.
Any thoughts on that?
Some training camp stuff.
All right.
Any thoughts on the reconstruction?
Yep.
No, it's just good to see. It's just good to see players reconstructing to make more money because they know that, you know what I'm saying, we have the team, and if we need to add pieces, we need that money. So just being able to restructure their contracts. I think Derek Barnett also got his business degree as well. So my man is not only doing it in football, but he's doing it out there in the actual world. So when football is over, he got something to fall back on.
Not bad.
Yeah.
No, definitely. Well, just want to give everybody a quick update here on who we got popping in this top 100 so far. So we talked about last week how our number 2 wide receiver, Mr. Smitty himself, was at 100. Definitely, I feel like that's low, but hey, it is what it is. He'll use it, and he'll be back, and he'll be better next year. Also, at 65, there's a man that we all know very well, We call him Big Play Slay, Darius Slay. So he's on the top 100 list, and this is, of course, is voted on by the players primarily. So he's there at 65. Hassan Reddick is at 48. So we got two guys outside of the top 40 at 65 and 48, but definitely, I think, well earned. I would argue that Reddick's a little low as well, but it does include all players. And then also at 41, Lane Johnson. So we got 100 Devontae Smith, 65 Darius Slay, 48 Hassan Reddick, 41 Lane Johnson. So your thoughts on any of those four?
Oh man, I mean Lane Johnson, I feel like
D,
maybe should be a tad bit higher.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think there's only one person I think is going to be higher up for us. I don't see anybody else really on the squad being up that high other than our old QB1, you know?
Right.
Well, we've got a couple more people, actually. So at 37, we've got Jason Kelce. Oh, yes, I know, sir. At 37, we've got Jason Kelce. So he cracked the top 40. I think definitely well earned for him. And as I was saying earlier, inside that top 20, and I believe 23, I'm double checking to make sure I get the right number, is the man himself, Mr. A.J. Brown, 22. Mm-hmm. So far we've got like 6 people, in the top 100. We still ain't seen nothing from QB1, right? So, we should have at least one more in there somewhere. So pretty decent showing, I'd say. We've gotten up to 20. So we got so next week we'll talk about the top 20. Jalen Hurts should be within that mix. So that's where we should be seeing.
Should be.
He better.
I like to give him different nicknames, but I'll just say QB1. He's got to be in there. Like if he's not in there, this list is fraudulent. He's got to be in the top. It's the season he had. You can't make this list and not have him included. So that's gonna happen. It's all good. Ain't in the sweat. It's all good in the hood. All right. So this time, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be bringing in our guy Malcolm when he's ready in a moment. We're going to be discussing the Bears game here first. Then we'll swing back and discuss the Giants game here a little bit later on. All right. So Philly says, "Why I thought you were going to have an A.J. Brown contract update."
I didn't see anything on that. I think he's locked down for
he's good for
years
a while
with us too.
Yeah,
he just signed an extension that kicks in this year, I believe.
4 years.
Yeah, so he's good. Rudy Peralta, what's going on? And then Sean's back in the building with us. Sean, he says, "What's up, guys?" Quez Watkins says he's an elite receiver. LMAO, you have to play big in the biggest game of your life before running your mouth. You guys agree? So, Sean, we're actually going to get to that. But long story short, you said everything that needs to be said. I really don't think we need to say anything more else about that. I'm just going to say that, I felt like not even acknowledging his words just because I feel like they gave him some airtime for that nonsense. But with that being said, we got Malcolm waiting here, so we're going to go ahead and bring in our Bears aficionado. Malcolm, what's going on, man?
What's up, guys? How you guys doing this evening?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. I can't complain. And after hearing all of this, it must be nice having a bunch of your players in the top 100. For me, I only believe we only have one, and I'm actually okay with one.
Well,
that being our quarterback.
Year, right? So all y'all got to do is come out and show everybody what you got this year and, knock a few people out.
That is true. That is true. We got... with that season review, the Bears game, when we took on the Eagles.
Yes, sir. So the game itself was actually close. It was 25-20 Philly. Since you are our guest, Malcolm, we'll start with you. Just give us your thoughts on the game, what you thought went good for, your guys' team, what things you feel like you can improve on, moving into next season, what you could take from the game.
Well, what I took from it was cool when we talked about this game last year. Remember, I told you I thought we were going to get blown out. It didn't matter. I thought the Eagles were fully loaded. They proved to me that they were the team in the NFC to beat. But at the same time, I've always had that little slim of hope saying, hey, any given Sunday, the Bears can somehow shock the world. If they shocked me, I would have been like, well, they beat the Eagles. But to be honest, though, for it to be a 5-point L, I was actually okay with the 5-point L because I did, even though I don't have the NFL, was it Sunday Ticket and all, but I do have NFL Network, and they were showing highlights of that game. And I gotta say, Justin Fields, to quote Snoop Dogg, he is I and I am him. And that is what Justin Fields proved to me against that game against the Eagles, or actually that whole entire season. And well, for my take of it, Justin Fields being smart, the Bears organization, the coaching staff that's letting a quarterback do what he did what he did in college. None of this bullcrap rule that you give him, none of this bullcrap play that you give him. Let him run the offense to his liking, even though he had nobody to throw to. He had a running game, but hey, he can run too. And that was one of the big keys for us in that game. Also, another thing about that game was the defense. I mean, I had the Eagles beating us by 30, but no, 5. I'm like, okay, 5. All right, the defense. Even though we've been watching in training camp, our corners that we've drafted, they've been making big plays. Justin Fields has been making good plays to having that connection with DJ Moore. And the only thing that I'm a little bit worried about is Chase Claypool. I mean, he's been giving Chase the ball in these training camp situations, but at the same time, Claypool will be coming late, reacting to the ball so late. And what I've heard that our corners today had a big day in the 7 drill training camp. But our defense shocked me. Our offense shocked me. I would have been more shocked if we would have got the dub. But unfortunately, hey, the fly Eagles fly as the Bears down. Literally, they went down.
Facts.
I mean, it's just so funny to me. And now what to take for this season? Everybody who knows me and knows my channel, people are saying, oh, there's no excuse for Justin Fields. And I'm going to clear the air right now. This whole Justin Fields cannot throw. I guess nobody watched college. Nobody watched college. Clearly the kid can throw. It's just that who the heck was he throwing it to? Dante Pettis? Didn't even know who the hell Dante Pettis was. The only receiver that was worth for us is Darnell Mooney, who, when people say coming into the league, oh, he's too small, he needs to lift some weights. If you saw what he looks like now, dude looks like a miniature moose. And he has the speed, and after coming off an injury too. So I'm expecting big things for this Bears offense. But my biggest thing now, besides the Bears offense, is what Justin Fields can do now that you gave him weapons. I want to see what this defense can do. Can this defense stop a big, huge play on 3rd and 4th down? Can this defense hold a lead? Can this defense make a stop when our lives depended on it? Can this defense, or as a matter of fact, here's the big one, can this whole entire team beat the one team that I hate so much? Thank God you don't represent them. Thank God you don't represent them. You got the same colors, got one of the primary colors, but thank God you don't support them. And thank God you guys are in Philly. Shout outs to Key in the building. And for everybody that don't know, Green Bay Packers. It's going to be really, really, really sweet to not see Aaron Rodgers anymore. You just don't know how I felt when he went to the Jets. And speaking of Jets, he's your problem now. You haven't learned from Brett Favre, and it's going to show this season. Jets is going to Jets.
Shout out to Philly Talk Podcast. Appreciate you tuning in. So, Diva, I want you to hop in. What are your thoughts on the Bears-Eagles game from last season?
I mean, overall, the offense played really, really well. Jalen Hurts had a total of 315 yards. Of course, 17 carries. He was the the lead rusher because Miles Sanders was boo-boo that game. He only had 42 yards and then I think a loss of and he fumbled and he had a loss of 13. AJ Brown had a big game. He had 181 yards. Smitty had 126. But from what I can see, what happened with us was the defense. They had a total of 157 rushing, and we only had a total of 112. So that right there goes to tell you that Gannon defense just did not play like they were supposed to. That was one of them games where they showed up a little bit. I think they showed up the first half, and the second half they was gone. And yeah, that's the reason why it was probably a close game. But the offense balled out.
All right. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, the offense, it took a little while to get going there. It looked a little bit kind of like the Colts game a little bit, starting off very slow. And, you had those mistakes by Hurts. He had the 2 interceptions throughout this game. But like Diva said, one, he shouldn't be running that much in a game when you have 3 other running backs who can run the ball. And they actually did it very well in the second half. But it really falls on that defense. I mean, Justin Fields just could not be stopped. Dude was running all over the place. Nobody could tackle him. There was 5 dudes trying to get him. Somehow squeaked his way out. I don't know how he does it. He's wild out there. And he's just you kind of take that stuff for granted. I mean, everybody kind of want to hate on Justin Fields or whatever, but dude has some special talent. You could see it's there. And I mean, people, like you said, people won't want to make fun of him not being able to throw the ball. He was throwing the ball against us. He was finding open people, and he was making some big plays through the air as well. I mean, you just got to surround him with talent, like you were saying. But, I mean, yeah, that defense, it seemed like as soon as they tried to adjust to one thing, the Bears went another way and did something else, and that's when we were starting to leave the field wide open for players, making bad mistakes. I mean, it was very close. I think it was closer than it should have been. But, I mean, this was also the game where Jalen took that shot in the chest when he tried to run down the field, and that's where the shoulder injury came into play. But dude was a soldier, man. He came up and he was chucking the ball down the field the whole rest of that game. I don't know how he was doing it on that bum shoulder. But I mean, shout out to the Bears because I know they were in a tough spot of their season, and they were able to come out and do what they did against Philly at that point in their season. They were 12-1 still.
Definitely. So a couple of comments here. We got Key with the Ghoulie. We know that's
hi Key.
Then we got the what's up, Key? And then we got our guy, our resident troll, Rod. What's up, Rod?
What's up, Rod?
And then Key says, Shane irked my soul this game with all those QB runs. So speaking of Shane irking souls, he did nothing to help the quarterback. That called run up the middle was stupid. But where I always like to go when we're talking about what was wrong with the Philadelphia Eagles in 2023. We know where I want to go. Okay, we're going to go to the he who shall not be named any longer. The 5 yards off everybody. Let's play soft zone. Let's not chip anybody. Let's not touch anybody. Let's play 5 to 7 yards off every play and give up all the under routes. And hey, it's okay if they get 5-7 yards to play. Is it really? Oh, we don't want to blitz because blitzing is bad. It's the devil.
No pass rush, no none.
Just hey, go make a play because you're a good player. I mean, I don't know what to tell you to do. I don't know.
Basically.
The fact that it was just it was like watching that game. It felt like a Roadrunner Wile E. Coyote cartoon. Every time when the Eagles try to get to Justin, it's like, me.
Yep, straight up.
Exactly. No, so the one thing that I hope is really different this year in this game was one of the main reasons to focus on it is gap integrity. There are a lot of times where guys were not holding their blocks, holding their gaps defensively. So even if you're getting blocked defensively, you still have a gap that you're responsible for. Justin Fields was able to make a lot of runs in gaps. And I'm sitting back, mad, editing this for TV. I'm sitting back mad saying, why in the world is the one team who has a quarterback that's as athletic and fast as Justin Fields, allowing him to just run all over the field like we don't know what to do with him? You see this every day in practice. What are you doing? But then again, as Keith put it so well, the one that starts with J and ends in G, and his defense, that was a problem. That was a problem all year. We talked about it. We continue to talk about it. When we reviewed this game, when we previewed this game, the one thing that you always heard from me, we got the receipts. I'm worried because our defense is not as good as it should be because the guy that's calling the plays is trash at what he does. So that was a big concern. What I would like to see interesting enough from Justin Fields moving forward, and I know Billy kind of touched on this, and you guys can as well, is I want to see him more in the pass game, right? And I'm not saying that he can't do it, but I want him to show people that he can do it. Because what I like to see is these athletic quarterbacks that still can read defenses, that still can make plays, especially now that he has a better group of receivers around him, a better line around him. You know, Bears say we got money in free agency, we're going to spend it to make our team better. Smart move.
Yeah.
So I want to see him go out now and start winning as a true dual threat. Be the thrower so that the running is something that is a stress. Don't be the runner that can make some throws. Hurts made that transition last year. We all saw it with our own eyes. It makes things a lot easier for you. Feels a little bit younger, so, you know, he's got time to get that done as well. It's that work ethic. So, Gooley, your thoughts on what you want to see from Justin Fields real quick, and then we'll just swing around to Diva and Wyatt.
What I want to see from Justin Fields is almost the same thing I want to see from last year. But now that he has an offensive line, I do want him to throw, but at the same time, I want him to be smart with it, because there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be covering DJ Moore. But hey, that's why you got your number 2 option. And the number 2 option, Darnell Mooney, I expect him to have a big upcoming season. Then you got your third, which everybody is so scared to death of, and that's Chase Claypool, because Chase is playing for a contract. So, and I believe that he is going to live up to that contract. Hey, and if your wide receivers ain't open, you just got Robert Tonyan, you got Cole Kmet. He has people to throw it to. He has talent around him. Now that you have talent around this diamond, now it's time for that diamond to shine and make those smart plays. If nobody's open, God gave you feet. God said run. And running out of bounds, as long as you don't get hit, and granted, there was a lot of hitting in not just that Eagles game, but just every Bear game in general that I live streamed where he got hit so late. And all I thought about, people in the gaming industry have Dark Soul flashback. No, I had Cam Newton flashbacks of how Justin was getting hit. And I'm like, please God, don't turn it into Cam Newton. You're gonna mess with his brain with all these hits.
I had Donovan McNabb, Michael Vick flashback, so
yeah, that brought back some flashbacks too, because it kind of cost me a game. The Super Bowl was one of them. But you know, I want Matt, and I know people get on me for saying his name wrong. Matt Eberflus. I just call him just
Eberflus.
Matt Eberflus.
Yeah, you have to.
I believe he is the coach that is going to, number one, coming from a guy, and Key can tell you this, and I'm going to let y'all know about this. I don't live in Chicago. Was resonating Gary, and all we saw was nothing but Bears, all Chicago media, because we're like 5 minutes away or 10 minutes away from Chicago, depending on the area you're in. Living here now in Indianapolis, I got to say thank you, Colts, for letting go of Matt Eberflus, because, hey, good defensive-minded coach, 4-3 scheme. He talked about it today about Justin. They want Justin to become the leader. They're not going to be doing as much as play calling as much. They're going to let Justin be Justin. If they see something, they're going to call it out to Justin in his headset and say, hey, why don't you run this? Why don't you run this? This is your team. You lead it. Hey, him and DJ Moore, that I'm really excited for that connection. And like I said, Paul said it best. He was able to make the team better. Now, on paper, the team got better, but now we got to see it right here on the field itself. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if we suck this year again, right now, like I said, I'm in the middle. If we suck, okay, hey, at least we get 2 first rounds out of the deal. Because there's another team like Carolina who I want to absolutely suck this year. But hey, yeah. I mean, when you give up your first round pick, and it could have potentially been, I don't know, Marvin Harrison Jr. Could have been, but we will only see. Hey, Carolina could be good, but I pray to God they don't.
Carolina's in a division where they're going to at least be a decent team. So I don't think that pick is going to get you Marvin Harrison Jr. But Diva, what are your thoughts on if you have any on Justin Fields of what you expect to see from him this year, what you'd like to see?
I would like to see him pass a little more because with him running, that's what's caused him to be hurt a lot. I don't think he's learned to slide or run out of bounds, and so he's had a couple of injuries due to that. But I mean, he could be a great passer once he gets comfortable, in the pocket. I don't think he's comfortable in the pocket. I think that's why he takes off and runs a lot. But you got to be comfortable in that pocket because sometimes you got to be the passer and you got to let your running backs run to open up the field.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Wyatt, what about you?
Yeah, same thing. I just want to add, of course, like what you're saying, cool, is you want to see him be able to read the defense. One thing that I would like to see is just to see him kind of settle down, stay cool, calm, and collected, and not go for kind of that run first option. You want to kind of scan this field. Of course, you want to wait for your O-line, see how much time they give you. But I mean, that was the same thing with Hurts in the first year and a half or so. Is like it seemed like he was a little lack of a better term, squirrely. Like he would hike the ball and then just kind of he didn't see anything. He would just straight up run. Like you need to kind of be a little cool, calm, collected, solidify yourself in the pocket, take your time, and then, seek out your targets. And then if, no one's open, then you run. I would just like to kind of see him settle down there in that pocket a little bit. And of course, air it out like you guys were saying. Absolutely.
So Gooley, you have any last words? Let everybody know where they can find you.
To quote Jerry Springer, my final thought, rest in peace. What I expect to see this season, for the Bears right now, there has been talks of us trading for an edge rusher, and we definitely needed an edge. And there's been the talks of one of it being Chase Young. There's been the talk of Yannickin, who is literally dying to play in Chicago, is what I'm being told. As for another trade rumor that I'm hearing about Jonathan Taylor coming to Chicago via a trade, but I don't see it happening. So for any Bears fans that think that's going to happen, this is coming from one. It's not going to happen. But if it does happen, hey, I've been wrong before. But I just want this team to win at least 8 to 9 games. That's where I'm at right now with this team. Do I want them winning the division? Oh, yes. But nah, to be honest, a lot of people call me crazy, but I got Detroit winning that division. I don't trust Minnesota as far as I can throw them. Vikings going to Viking. Green Bay. And the Lions are more – it's anybody's division that they always say, but to me, I got Detroit winning that division. But you guys can find me at Malgooley. It's the same. If you don't know how to spell it, MALCGOOLIE. You can follow me on Instagram and follow me on Twitter. And you can subscribe to my YouTube channel as well, because the next video, and cool, this is in our department here. We got one of the big 4 pay-per-views coming up this Saturday. And that is WWE SummerSlam. And I will be doing a live picks and predictions with Key in the building and a whole bunch of other people on Friday night. Hope get to see you guys all there, and we will be live streaming that show also Saturday night, which I can't wait. Acknowledge your tribal chief.
Appreciate you, Malcolm, man. Good to see you on, and good luck to your Bears.
Thanks for hopping on.
And we'll be seeing a lot more from you on Tuesday nights.
Oh yes, most definitely. You guys have a great day, and you know what? Instead of going bear down in an Eagles show, I'm going to go with this because I respect the Eagles and I like the Eagles. I think the Eagles fans gets a bad rep. You have that shall not be named 445 to blame for that. But fly, Eagles, fly. Fly, Eagles, fly. Fly. Thank you. You guys have a great night.
See you later. Have a good night.
So
that's a good one.
Gooley is quite a character for sure. So we're gonna go ahead, guys, and I think we've got our next gentleman ready to hop on with us here. This is my OG man, one of my big bros in the game, my guy Wise,
What's
and
going
our
on, brother?
resident Giants fans. What's going on, man?
Nothing much. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good, man.
We're
How
good.
about yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm podcasting. Football season is upon us. Life is good, man. I can't
You look
complain.
like a Giants fan. They all got the same look.
This is how we're gonna start. This is how we're gonna start. I was coming on respectful, but yeah, what's going
My
on?
bad. I had to throw that out there. I'm sorry.
Damn. The jugular, straight up, straight away.
They do. They all look alike. I'm sorry.
What is that supposed to mean? I don't
Oh
understand.
no,
that.
Giants fans just got that look. Like you just know, oh, you a Giants fan. I'm just telling you.
Listen, it could be worse. I could be a Cowboys fan.
It could
Yeah,
It
definitely
could be
lot
worse.
Could be a lot worse.
That's the bottom of the barrel
Listen,
trash.
I could be a Cowboys fan. So
Yeah,
And
we
right
agree
under
on
them-
that one.
Right under them, that real nasty, just dirty, stinking, that's right under the trash juice. It could be a Patriots fan.
That's them. Oh yeah, that's them.
Yeah.
besides, shout out to our NFC beast brother Ben.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ben, I'm not including in the conversation.
No,
You know, nor big time either. I'm not including big time in that either. But a lot of the rest of them, I'm talking about y'all.
Oh man.
But yeah, man. So we just wanted to have you hop on, man. We just want to talk a little bit about, first off, our first matchup this past season. Tough game for y'all, but it was some bright spots within the game. And then after that, we'll also talk about what do you see from the team, or what are you expecting from the team for this upcoming season? Because we ain't gonna just bring you on and talk about how bad you got to be. We're gonna also get a chance to talk about what you see next season. You know what I'm saying? We don't do that on Eagles Elite. Now, if you were on the football team fan, we might do that.
Yeah.
And we'll start with you, since you are our esteemed guest for the evening, sir.
Listen, I'm excited, man. This is gonna be an exciting season. Everybody's improved except for Washington. Well, they improved because they changed ownership, so they improved in that aspect of it all. So it might bode well for them. But I'm excited for the pickups we've had, man. Darren Waller's looking like Darren Waller, and if that's the case, then that actually gives Daniel Jones that weapon that he needs to maybe take him to the next level. We'll see. But I'm excited because you guys, listen, even though you guys lost some key pieces, you had toys land in your laps. You had a lot. Getting Swift from Detroit was a great pickup, first of all.
Yeah, it was.
That was when healthy, he can be one of the best running backs in football because he does it all. Getting Carter to fall in your lap after losing Hargrave.
That's crazy.
It was so you kind of offset that loss, but then you did lose your cornerback Johnson, what is it, Johnson Gardner, whatever his name is.
Johnson Gardner, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he got hurt, so he's probably gonna be out either way. So we kind of dodged the bullet, unfortunately.
Dodged the bullet, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to I'm hoping that our games this year are much more competitive on as far as our side goes. I think it will be because we've improved offensively and Saquon is back, signed his contract. I think Paris Campbell is a great addition. Bobby Okereke. They added some pieces, man. They had definitely improved from last year, and we finally got a coach. That was my whole thing. Like the last few coaches we've had were horrible. Joe Judge, I don't know how he had gotten in position.
I don't know who he had pictures of.
Yeah, he had somebody like he had one of the Mara kids or somebody in the awkward position, and they gave him a job because it's crazy how someone who's never ran an offense or a defense. Yes, he was special teams coach, but there's only one other person who's gone from special teams coach to head coach and really been successful, and that's Harbaugh in Baltimore.
Yep, but he
And
was
so-
also an assistant coach.
Yes, that's what it was
And that's
different
the
because he had
difference,
some. Yeah, he had management skills, but
Mm-hmm.
bringing in Brian Dable and Joe Shane from Buffalo has been great. I'm saying so because to match up with you guys, our front office has to match up with Howie. Howie's phenomenal. He's Mr. Do It All for you guys. He makes the right trades. He makes the right draft picks. It's like to have your front office is one, if not the best in football.
Not always. He ain't always been like that.
Yes,
Yeah,
not no. He has. That's
It's
true.
still crazy to hear that be said.
The
and
Chip
be
Kelly
like,
era is a blend. We don't. It's just like we don't talk about McAdoo.
We got
McAdoo.
some draft picks too to be like, Kelly, what you doing?
Just like we kind of washed out the McAdoo era. Yeah, kind of like the same thing with Chip Kelly. Yes,
right. You just kind of. It's just like
we forget those days. We forget those moments.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. Push that to the back.
I dig it. Now another big pickup for y'all was James Robinson, because it's going to give you another guy that can run that ball and do some things. So if Saquon does miss time, or you just want to kind of light the load a little bit, Robinson's I think is a really good, especially number 2 running back.
Well, I think the rookie we picked up from Oklahoma, Gray.
Oh, you think he's going to be number 2? Okay.
I think he's going to be solid, man. I think because he can catch the ball out. Listen, in Dayball's offense, if you can catch the ball out the backfield, you're going to be a key weapon for the team.
Fair
and
enough.
Now adding Waller and adding Paris Campbell, who's going to be able to stretch the field, and the rookie Jalen Hyatt is looking amazing in camp. Deontay Banks, who we picked up for the second there, we finally have what we've been lacking since Coughlin's been gone. I'm saying, and since Reese has been gone and George Young, we actually have a head coach and a GM on the same page, where they know what they want to do together and what they want to build together. Joe knows Brian from the days in Buffalo, so they know what they want. They know what kind of players they need for that offense, and I feel that they've addressed that this year.
Okay.
There's still a lot of questions. We brought back Slayton, we brought back Shepard. We got crowded. We have a crowded wide receivers locker room right now, but I'd rather have that than what we went through last year, where we was just losing receivers like every week.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. So Diva, we'll flip it up to you real quick. What are your thoughts on this first game that we had? I know Wives don't want to really talk about that too much, and that's fair. But Diva, what are your thoughts on that? The first game?
It's gonna be a great game, man.
The first game, I mean, we won 48-22. Hurts was 217. Miles Sanders actually had a really good running game where he actually ran the ball. He had 144 yards. Jalen Hurts had 77. Jalen's always in the top 1 or 2 when it comes to rushing. Boston Scott had 33.
That ain't good either.
No, it's not. All of our receivers got in that game. AJ, Devontae, Cacatera, Jack Stoll, Quez, Miles actually had some receiving yards, Pascal, Boston Scott. So it was a well-rounded team effort. Defense didn't play too bad. They actually showed up that game, the whole game, and not half the game. So all around, it was a good game.
Can I ask you, how do you feel about Miles Sanders not being there? You personally?
Me personally,
Yeah.
I'm glad that Miles is not there. Like, Miles had a good year last year when he was on. But before that, Miles was dancing a little too much for me, losing yardage. And he just couldn't be that power running back that we needed him to be. So I'm glad he's with Carolina.
I think Swift is definitely an upgrade as far as when healthy. When healthy, Swift to me can be a top 5 running back with everything he can do. He can catch the ball, he can run the rock. It's when he was healthy, he was a main reason why the Lions looked so good last year at some times.
So I give you an interesting stat real quick, Wise. So the $7 million that Miles Sanders is getting paid,
Yeah.
that's what our whole running back room is getting paid. 7.2.
And we got a stack of running backs.
They got five. They got like 5 of them, and
Yes.
they talking about what's his name? Was it
Penny?
No, it's one of your Boston.
Boston
Scott. Yeah.
They're talking about he might not even make the team.
Yeah, I've been seeing that talk here past couple of days.
That's what I've been hearing. That's what I've been hearing, that he might not make the team.
I know you happy about that. If we got
Boston Scott run all over y'all.
Giant killer.
Giants killer.
Oh, listen, it's gonna change, man. This year with we got that linebacker in the middle where it's gonna be a difference, man. This defense is gonna be different.
Put Boston Scott on the darn special teams, okay? Because Kobe can't do nothing. So Boston Scott can at least get 92 return.
We can have Boston Scott returning kicks. Like we did in the Bears game and this game we talking about. He had a couple nice kick returns.
Y'all gonna use my boy some way now.
If you keep Britton Kobe, you don't keep Boston Scott. I'm throwing something.
Well, they said Britton Kobe is excelled this year, so they're saying. I heard.
That's why I said a lot of reports talking about Boston Scott not making the team.
No, my boy made the team now.
They also said that Quez Watkins is having a great training camp.
Yeah. Heard that before.
Yeah, heard it all before. Two times before. I ain't falling for the third time.
We'll see.
They better not either.
But I got a question because I got to do. I know Cool because, like I said, me and Cool do the NFC Beast.
Yeah.
And I know how he feels about this person. But how do you feel losing Gannon is going to affect you guys?
How we feel about it's not gonna affect us. We good. Y'all Arizona better worry about that, but we good. We got Desai, who is already showing that he's gonna be 10 times better. So we good. We happy. We good over here. I don't know about.
I feel a lot better without Jonathan Gannon in the building. That's for sure.
Oh,
I feel like there's gonna be some sense.
I don't even gotta ask.
competency.
I don't even gotta ask Cool because I know how he feels about Jonathan Gannon. It was a weekly thing.
You know, we're not supposed to say that name.
Even when y'all had good games, Jonathan Gannon felt the wrath of Cool McKay.
Cool said we can't say that name. You gotta say JG in here. You can't.
JG. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
JG.
He has banned that name.
Hey, guess can say it. Guess can say it because they all know about the rules. They all know about the rules. Yeah, we either say JG or he who's no longer named.
Yeah,
okay.
that dude was saved just because they had elite players that were out there just doing their thing. It wasn't the scheme; it was just the players doing.
We try to exercise the bad juju of his name. That's why we don't say it no more. We try to exercise that bad juju.
Yeah.
Anyway, Wyatt, what's your thoughts on the?
I mean, pretty much the same. The only downside I had was just that sack on Hurts that almost caused the safety, and then the bad punt afterward. It got blocked. And our punter had to try to run and almost got that first down, but that kind of set us back a little bit. But, man, that defense was flying around early. They did kind of let up in that second half, leaving a lot of people wide open. You know, we're used to seeing that kind of thing with Gannon. But, I mean, the offense, they were doing exactly what they needed to do, and they were actually running the ball. You know, when they were up, they decided to just keep pounding the rock, and that's exactly what we needed to do, you know, to keep that lead going forward. Because we didn't see that too much through all these other games we'll be talking about. We get that lead, maybe run here and there, but then they'd go right back to passing it again, and then something would happen. But they actually, you know, did what they were supposed to do in this game. And, you know, our defense was eating. They were getting those sacks on Danny Jones. But, I mean, the Giants did have some good plays in there. I mean, they were able to get 22 points there. What was it? Most of it coming in the second half. But
it's probably by luck. It was that offense for the Giants was just horrible.
I mean, honestly, man, I really felt like it was going to be a closer game. I really believe that.
Always expected to be a closer
game. I really did.
Y'all were balling, honestly. Y'all were finding ways to win games.
Yes, we was.
Mm-hmm.
But when you play against a team like the Eagles, where they have elite talent all over the field, like you have elite talent on defense, you have elite talent on offense, you might have the best receiving call in all of football. That's with your tight end and your receivers. And so because you have two number ones. You have
Well,
Brown.
According to the NFL, one of them really in number
The
one because he's
100.
only 100 on the top 100. He barely made it in the top 100.
Right.
Devontae Smith.
Yes.
Yeah.
These experts, they ain't never played a game.
It wasn't experts, it was players.
This
It was
is the
players?
players. Yeah, this is the player
Yeah.
list.
The players were disrespectful like that.
Yes, they were.
Yeah, man.
Well, you know what? Oh man. I
He
don't
said,
know
"Oh
what to
man."
say.
You see what I'm saying?
They had like Jared Goff over Lamar Jackson too, I'm pretty sure.
Who?
Oh wow. Jared Goff. Oh my goodness.
Jared Goff, Detroit Jared Goff
I'm pretty sure they had Jared Goff over
I'll
Lamar on
double-
the
I think
top
you're right.
100.
I'm about to
over
double check
Lamar
it right now.
Jackson.
Yeah, there's a couple of them that were very
Yeah,
questionable.
plays are haters. Plays are haters.
I mean, yeah, that's
Like I'm sure some of them voted like, yeah, I'm not voting this dude higher than me.
yeah,
Mhm.
I'm not voting that dude.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm not voting that dude higher than me.
That
So
dude burnt me this season. I ain't
yeah,
about to
yeah,
go
nah,
there.
like yeah. I'm sure they're like there was a lot of hated votes. They're like, yeah, this dude burnt me. He ain't getting no good vote. He's gonna be number 100. Yeah.
That's a good point. I didn't think about it from that angle, but that's a good point.
Whoever that
That's why you
was,
gotta
he
give
caught that
different
one hander
voices.
in and reeled it in. They probably like, oh no, I ain't about to vote for him.
He like you
But
know,
it's gonna be worse when he burns them and he like, all right, I'm the 100th ranked player in that. All right, I'm gonna show y'all.
Oh, he's showing out in practice now. I seen it yesterday. Boy's showing out.
one hand catch from Hurts. It was beautiful too.
Mhm.
It's
was beautiful.
With pressure on him, like all on him. Yeah.
I think he's got a chip. He's gonna have a little chip on his shoulder.
Oh, he will. He will.
Me personally, I thought he would have been higher.
He should have been. Not 100, but yeah.
So I want y'all to know
Yeah.
Dak Prescott is higher than both of them, but Jared Goff is
Yeah.
66. I found
No,
him.
you
He's
said
66.
he where?
Dak Prescott is in the 50s. Dak Prescott was 50. Hold me. Let me get this right. Dak Prescott was 56 in the top 100. Dak Prescott was 56. Jared Goff was in the 60s. I think Lamar's in the 70s. Let me double check.
Yeah, he's 72.
Lamar's 72. Yep.
Wow.
So yeah, right.
That's disrespectful. You gonna put
Down from 36 to 72.
and Dak
Wow.
Prescott is over Lamar Jackson. Boy,
Yeah.
woo.
If Dak Prescott is there, then where is the white Dak Prescott at? That's what I want to know.
Oh, Kirk Cousins.
Because if you go put back
He-
at
he
56,
not
where you gonna
gonna
put the
make
white
that
Dak
list.
Prescott?
Wow. Your boy Kelsey, 37.
Yeah, saw that. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I like it. I definitely like it.
Saquon, 31. That ain't bad.
Mhm. Yeah, we were looking at that list. We're waiting for AJ Brown is 22.
Mhm.
That is disrespectful. Then they got DeMarcus Lawrence, 99.
It was very disrespectful. When I looked
Oh,
at those dudes at the bottom, I'm like, wow. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You look
Trevor
at,
Lawrence is 96.
Right. He only got to 96.
I think they have Justin Fields over Trevor Lawrence.
They got every quarterback in the list over Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is the lowest ranked
Yeah.
quarterback.
Terry McLaurin, 94.
McLaurin, yep. They got Kendricks at 93.
Cook,
Yeah,
90, Cook 91.
Yeah, they wild out.
Players out here wilding on this list.
Yeah, that's wild.
They's real disrespectful out here in these streets, man. Real disrespectful.
The hate is real.
Wow. Like I'm seeing names on here like
That you know shouldn't be that low.
a little bit higher. That should be a little bit higher.
You know,
Mhm.
and then you see some names that you like, how in the world are they that high? I don't want to call nobody out. So I don't want to be that guy, but there's some names you like. We could have easily made a flip flop, and everything would have been all good. You know what I'm saying? But Wise, I know this is a sports show, but Wise, y'all, Wise and my other big homie Cole Johnson, the mad scientist, they have a show called Mentality.
Yes.
The show is amazing. Okay.
It's because of Cole, man. It's definitely because of Cole.
It's not cause of Cole, bro. It's cause of both of y'all. Okay, both of y'all make that show work, bro. That show is amazing,
bro. When you get to work with somebody as talented as Cole, man, it just makes you want to step your game up. Anytime you collaborate with someone who's gifted and talented, you just try to bring your A game anytime you work with them, because they're bringing their A game, and so when you work with somebody so talented and gifted, it just motivates you and pushes you to be like, all right, this man wants to work with me. It's got to be for a reason. And I've been blessed to learn a lot from him, like, because he's an amazing executive producer, and with what I've been able to learn from him, it's helped me with my production as far as my show and all the shows that I'm producing, and it's great to have someone where you want to be at, like you want to get to that point where like this is the position I want to be at, in the position where I'm able to help people and show them the way and guide them. And so yeah, the show is dope. I really have a great time doing it. It's just a blessing to be able to work with somebody so gifted, man. Yeah. And you know how it is, man, because you've seen his work. You've seen his work. He's done intros for you.
Yeah, the intro and outro for this very show.
Yes.
As you can see on the bottom of the screen,
yes.
Cole Sports. That is the man he's talking about.
Yeah. And he produces intros for people that are straight fire. And it's like with every intro he produces, he's just getting better and better. It's like I see an intro and it's straight fire, and then he'll create something for someone else, and I'm like, yo, this one's doper than the last one. And that's just
improvement, man. Improvement.
Yeah, and that just makes me want to go like, all right, I got to get in the lab. I got to make sure that my game is up to par when I'm with this man. And the great thing is, you know what? There's no ego.
Yeah.
So it's not like he'll say, I'm the engine that runs the show, and I'll say he's the engine that runs the show. But it's both of us. You're right. It's the chemistry. It's the chemistry that we both have. But it's like he's the early, we're the early, right? We're the 3 times champs when Kobe and Shaq. So he's Kobe, I'm Shaq. He's just up there, just lobbing the ball up, but when he has to step up and do his thing, he does his thing. But he just lobs up. He gives me topics, and he's like, he has this way of just jumping in my head, and just like, I seen this topic. I wonder how Wise is going to react, and like 99% of the time, I give him what he thought I was going to give him. and you've seen Cool. You've seen some of the stuff that we've done, man. It's just so much fun, bro.
I have to make sure when I watch y'all show, I'm in the area where it's okay if I laugh, yell, all that stuff. It's, bro, sometimes I laugh so hard I'm crying, you know. Sometimes I'm like, yeah. You know,
okay.
Crazy.
The funniest shit is that on my show, Stuck in My Mind podcast, is more about self-development, mindset, entrepreneurship, and all this other stuff. And then I get on mentality, and Vicola is giving me the name. He's giving me the name Bizarro Wise, because when I get on mentality, it's just me. I'm allowed to.
You go in.
Yeah, I get to go. Because when stuck in my mind, I can't really go in like that. It's more focus on self, like I said, self-improvement, self-development. And when I get to mentality, it's like my split personality comes out, and I get to come and just so we had this thing. I had this thing, because it's not cool. I'm a Yankees fan. I'm a diehard Yankees fan. And if back on the back is that's Yankee Stadium behind me. And so, as you know, the Boston Red Sox are our biggest rivals. So I had this thing where I just said F Boston and just started ranting off names. Anybody who lived in Boston, played in Boston, there was F them. And one of them happened to be New Edition. And I love New Edition. I love New Edition. I'm an 80s kid. I love New Edition. But they're from Boston. They're from Roxbury, which is right outside of Boston. So it was a big FU to them, except for Johnny Gill, because Johnny Gill's from Washington, D.C. So it got to the point where every episode I would end it with a rant of F Boston, and I would name names. There was no one safe. Dead people alive, legends. It didn't matter. Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Dave Portnoy, because he is a real piece of. I'm not gonna say what he is because of his Angel Reese comment. It just, a grown man talking about a young lady like that just set me off. So I kind of went off on Dave Portnoy. Another person I go off is Jason Whitless. Jason, whatever his name is. What is it?
I like Whitless. It's actually Whitlock. What's up, E-Money? Go Birds. Yes, sir. Make sure you like and share the show.
But yeah, man, I love podcasting, man.
Yes.
And being able to express myself and do shows like this and NFC Beast, which is crazy because you got 5 different personalities when Sam is on the show. Mm-hmm. And it's every team is represented in this NFC East because it is the best division in all of football.
You can't deny it.
I don't care what anybody says. There was a shot at all 4 teams making the playoffs last year. I don't think it's gonna happen this year either because Washington still needs some work.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the best division in football, man. There's no division like the NFC East. None. Every team in the NFC East has won a Super Bowl. What other division can say that?
None.
No other division can say that. It's
and hopefully by the end of this year, every team in the division will have won at least 2 Super Bowls.
Hopefully.
I would like to tie Dallas. Me personally, I would like to tie Dallas. We just one behind, but
I just like to get multiple. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you guys are the only team that don't have multiple titles.
We'd like to get multiple first. We'll be happy with 2. We'll start with 2. All right, Philly. We'll highlight you. Appreciate you, Philly.
Have a good night.
We'll definitely see you next week. But yeah, man. So the only other thing that we're going to talk about tonight, if you want to hang out with us while, feel free to. Training camp. So Wyatt, I know you had a couple of pieces of information in regards to training camp. So feel free to drop them on us.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the running backs a little bit. It seems like they're kind of giving everybody a chance to be with the first teams throughout training camp. We see Swift more often than not on the first teams. We've been seeing him, receiving a little bit, actually going out and catching some passes. We actually got to see Trey Sermon, practice with the ones. And I mean, that's a name that we did not think was going to be on the, taking first team reps or anything like that. So, I mean, it seems like they're trying to get a lot of people going, get the running back by committee that we're used to. Especially with like Swift and Penny, kind of gives me like the vibes from like 2017. We had like Blunt and Jay Ajayi. As long as these guys can stay healthy, that's the case. So I mean, hopefully with both those guys coming back to back, and then maybe put Kenny Gainwell in there, hopefully it'll kind of let those guys play throughout the season. We still have been seeing Cam Jurgens at right guard as well. We haven't seen Tyler Steen at right guard so far. He's been working with the second teams.
Yeah, I did also hear part of an interview where they were saying that he's not set to be there. Jurgens isn't set to be there specifically, but he is getting reps there. So I'm interested to see how that's going to play out, because the depth charts does not have Cam Jurgens first. So we'll see how that works out. So I saw Devontae doing some ladder drills, flying through them, of course. He's a lightweight individual, so it should be hard for him. But yeah, he's killing the drills. He's really kind of embracing just being better than he was last year. I think everybody's still embracing that 1% better every day mentality, and that's definitely helped us a lot last year. One funny thing for me is Quez Watkins. I mean, he's killing it in practices, according to what we hear, right? But come on, we got to see it when it counts, right?
Bruh.
It's cute right now. We got to see it when it counts.
Bruh.
How long have they talking about?
It's okay to feel confident.
How long he's been on the team for about what, 3 years now?
3 years.
3 years.
Yes, this will be his fourth year.
This is
Yeah.
fourth year
And
now?
every year we hear that, and every year we
Well, you
hear
should
that
have been
he's
elite. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
With your Jalen Rieger self.
so.
Went before that one.
Ooh, that's the tough
Nelson
comparison.
Aguilar, that's the other one who couldn't catch nothing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, he started
Hassan
catching
Reddick.
after he left you guys.
right, and that's okay, because I'd rather you leave and be better than stay with us and be the same trash you was. Real talk,
Other
man.
apparently Christian Ellis has been, turning heads at practice. I mean, he had a strong, what was it, OTAs? He was playing really strong then. He's doing even better during training camp here now. And apparently there's been a position kind of change as well. I've been seeing. Let me see, who was it? It was Zach McPherson. Instead of having him as a backup outside corner, they've actually been putting him in nickel here on first teams. They don't know if it's mainly because of Avante having that toe injury still, because he's been practicing, but he's been kind of limited. But Zach McPherson, he's been at nickel going through on the first teams instead of being like that outside corner. So maybe they're trying to kind of move him in and transfer him into that spot.
You know what that means, right?
Avante about to be gone, y'all.
Messiah Scott about to be gone. That's who about to be gone, and I'm not mad at all.
Yeah, he's on the bubble. Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot too.
I know I saw
Mekhi
AJ
Gardner.
Brown.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Diva.
I saw AJ Brown yesterday, and he's starting to get more and more separation, creating some huge separation against his.
Are they going against the ones, or are they going
against
against the second unit on defense?
The first team offense.
First
they're
team
gonna get some
defense and
first
first team offense.
Yeah.
Apparently, y'all, I've been saying this all offseason, and people have been kind of shaky towards me. Apparently, Reed Blankenship is him. He is dominating.
Oh,
but it's different. But it's different when you
Nicholas
dominate
Morrow
in no pads or nothing.
Well, they had padded practice.
Oh yeah, but it's still not the same though.
No, it's not the same. I agree.
It's not like how it was back in the day where they actually did 2 a days and stuff.
Yeah, you're right, because they have the helmet on top of the helmet now and all that. But I mean, it's still good to see, some of these guys, especially when we talk about our younger players that are kind of getting a chance with some of the first team reps. So Kayvon Wallace, y'all, who we've kind of dogged a little bit, I know I have, has been getting some first team reps at safety as well. And Nicholas Morrow may not make this roster. So interesting. Yes, some interesting developments.
What might be the weakest link on your team?
Offensive
safety.
I'm gonna say safety or linebacker.
Safety
offense,
or linebacker.
Yeah.
Offense. I don't think there is a weak one on offense. The worst way might be the battle for who's gonna be the right guard, I believe it is. Yeah, the right guard. They're saying Cam Jurgens is taking the first team reps because he's our future center, but Jason Kelsey came back. But Tyler Steen is number 1 on the depth chart, so I'm curious who's gonna end up there. But offensively, man, honestly, other than that, bro, I mean, we deep. And the thing is, we know how last year we complained about, and I talked about on the Beast a lot. We didn't have a backup quarterback who could actually play the same game that our starter played. We do have that now, Marcus Mariota. He obviously not the same talent, but he's a guy who can play that same style of offense. So you don't have to change anything when you put him in, right? So
I don't have Gardner Minshew like out there trying to pretend to be Jalen Hurts.
No.
RPO with Gardner Minshew. I'm sitting there like, this does not fool anybody.
Dude running insane.
Dude was running like he was 75 years old, yo. Literally, like, bruh. I think Nick Foles ran faster than him, and Nicky could not run. You hear me?
Yeah.
And Nick ran like a three-legged goat.
Facts.
But yeah, so we get a lot of good things going on. Josh Joby, one of our guys have kind of been hanging around. He's one of the second team cornerbacks so far as well. So a lot of interesting things happening so far in camp. We kind of see guys separate based on, I mean, Wise makes a great point. They haven't had an opportunity to really hit like game speed, but just knowing where to be, making plays. You know, they got the pass on there, so we see a little bit more of guys making some things happen. Apparently, Mekhi Gardner, who's one of our young guys, actually put a nice, solid hit. He's probably going to end up being a safety for us. He was a cornerback, but he's probably going to end up being a safety from what I'm reading. He lit up Charleston Rambo, which is one of our wide receivers we got later on, in 11-on-11. And apparently it's been the biggest hit we've had so far. I mean, it doesn't mean a lot, I guess, in the right now, but you know, at least he's out there hitting, right? He's out there hitting. We kind of preseason, you can call it a training camp, like you said, but out there hitting, man, just making plays, trying to earn a roster spot. I love it, right? I mean, I expected there to be a couple of guys that we assumed were going to be locks to make the roster, not make the roster, because it's a youth movement as well. Because a lot of some of these veteran guys, some of our better core players, they got to get paid, or they just got paid. So, got to figure out some money somewhere. So these young guys have got to make impacts, and they can get some of these other guys cut. So I'm excited for what I'm seeing, man. I'm excited.
Well, we'll definitely see August 12th at 7 p.m. That's our first preseason game against the Ravens. So we will see what these young boys will be doing.
So Wise, I don't know about you, but I feel like preseason has become a joke, right? You get 3 games, your starters play maybe 1 quarter at the most in 3 games.
If they play, if they play that.
If they play.
Yeah. I'm always gonna I'm old school, so I'm always gonna think about how it was back in the days, and I know I needed to change it because these players nowadays are machines. Like their workout regimen is different from when I first started watching football, and so I get it. Like, you have to protect these players because they're hitting harder than they've hit in the past. Saying these guys can light you up and stop hearts, man. Look, Damar Hamlin, it's different. It's a different game. These athletes are faster, stronger. So I understand. I get it. And this way, you protect your starters from getting hurt. So you let them play a quarter, whatever it is. And it gives you an opportunity to see who else can help your team throughout the season. And yeah, of course, we want to see the players, the starters play. But how many times have players gotten hurt in preseason and been lost for the season? Star players. So I understand wanting to protect your players, because now we're talking about a lot of guaranteed money that wasn't guaranteed in the past. This is a lot of guaranteed, like, we've seen players getting guaranteed money that we've never seen the likes of.
You're on mute.
You muted.
I'm just a talking. Yeah, I'll say we see a lot of rookies get those guaranteed contracts, the first round rookies, and they haven't even played a snap in the NFL yet. So a lot of stuff is getting a little concerning. So it does make sense what you're saying, but I think at the same time, man, when you don't get the preseason hits, you don't get the preseason reps in an actual live game, you step onto the field, and that's why I think we're seeing a lot of these injuries because these guys aren't playing. You got to find a sweet spot, right? I think you got to have at least a quarter the first preseason game, and then at least 1 or 2 drives with the starting offensive and defensive the third preseason game. Yeah. Right. I think you got to get a little bit of reps. I think not getting any at all is worse than, getting too many because you're just not prepared for any type of hits. But it's kind of like a back and forth tug of war because, like you said, you don't want a guy to get out there in a meaningless game and get hit and get hurt. But yeah, so it's real crazy both ways. But yeah, that's another exciting episode of the Eagles Elite Podcast, which I know is one thing that we need to do before we get up out of here. Shout out to Shady Sports, who we do partner with. The show is also shown on their network. Definitely been helping us, I feel like, get a couple more eyes, and hopefully we've been doing the same for them. So we're going to play a little something for you, come back, last words, and we'll get out of here for the
This is Brett, and you're watching Shady Sports Network. Tune in, hit that like button.
You might wonder, what do these guys do? Player signing announcements. I never in a million years thought you would actually come on to break this news. So without further ado, go ahead and tell everybody what happened today.
Yeah, man. I just had to work out with the Cincinnati Bengals. Signing me right out.
Without further ado, I'd like to announce that, I'll be taking my talents to Salina Liberty.
This just in, the Major League of Football is reportedly collapsing, unable to pay hotel room bills, with players being kicked out of their rooms and hotel managers asking them to leave voluntarily without issue.
Shout out to Sam Shady. Sam actually made the video himself, so it's dope, man. Definitely got a little something going on with the production as well. We all can't be Cola Wise. Some of us just have to kind of get in where we fit in. But guys, I'll go around. I'll start with you, Wise, man. Any last thoughts before we get out of here?
Oh man, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate you guys having me on the show. Maybe I couldn't stop by. Well, Cole's there anyway. Cole's already there anyway. But maybe you guys can stop by. New NFC Beast. When are we going to start NFC Beast again?
Should be a couple.
We haven't discussed this yet.
Yeah, we have to get on that soon.
Yes, we have to.
It's been a busy off season, but we got.
Yes, it has. Yeah. But listen, thank you guys again for having me. It's been an honor being a part of the podcast, a part of the show. You can catch me at Stuck in My Mind podcast every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday live on Real Wise TV, Stuck in My Mind podcast YouTube channel, BS3 Network. You can catch Mentality every month. Wait, is it Monday or Tuesday? 8 p.m. on Comey Media. Wait,
yeah, there's Comey Media. I always see the replay.
Yeah,
because they'll always see the replay. I think I do it Tuesday because I see the replay on Wednesday.
Well, we record Fridays and we release it Tuesdays, and then Poppy J and Wise and Hefe on BS3 Network every Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And check out the new websites. Actually, we relaunched StuckInMyMindPodcast.com. and realwiseproductions.com.
Cool. Diva?
You can catch me on Twitter at Sierra Cobb M1. I'm always on Facebook, and I'm always here on Wednesday nights.
It's not Twitter anymore, though.
Yeah, it's X.
I still say Twitter.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm not going with no X. We got to do better than that. White?
Yeah, I mean, other than right here, you can find me on Twitter at Wyatt Regard and at Cinema Trip Reviews. And you can also check out my other show, Cinema Trip Reviews, on YouTube and also wherever you get your podcasts. We're available everywhere.
So what's your podcast about? The other show?
Oh, we talk about movies and TV shows and stuff. Just, movies from like the classics in cinema all the way to like new movies that are being just freshly released.
Oh, definitely. I'll check it out.
Thanks, man.
So a lot of places you can find me, but the newest one is on Thursdays at 6 p.m. on Sports Empire Network. Birds Deep. I done got roped into another Eagles podcast, but it wasn't hard to do because it's Eagles. Also Fridays, BlackHollarSportsTalk.com/live. That's going to be 7:30 p.m. EST, but at 10 a.m. on WQZY in Atlanta. And I will be posting the link to the actual show. We have a Play Caller Sports Talk show. It's an hour-long show on the radio station there. So if you can tune in, definitely tune into that. Still working it out on the second episode. I think we kind of got rid of some of the bugs and stuff from the first one. It's a little weird when you first get going, but I think it's really good. Touching a lot of topics, just, trying to move into some different realms and get some more content out. Then, of course, Tuesday nights, Line in the Sand podcast, Sports Empire Network, and that's youtube.com/Sports Empire Network. We'll be doing NFL Matchup Madness Season 2 on Tuesdays as well. That'll be coming. We'll preview the first week before the game starts. So the games will be Sunday, that Tuesday before. I don't have the exact date yet because it's been crazy, but it's coming. And then, of course, this on Wednesdays, and I've always got more to come. NFC Beast. Right now, Saturdays, we'll see how that plays out moving forward before we start putting it out there. But it'll be back another season. My guy Wise will be on there with me. Hopefully, I can get my co-host maybe hop in for an episode. And we love to talk every team in the division. We do it with a little bit of respect. We take a couple of jabs at each other too, because, hey, it would be fun if we didn't do that. But, just try to have a good time with everything. And as always, when we get out of here, we say, fly, Eagles, fly. #be elite.
#be elite.
And just want to let everybody know one thing. The Philadelphia Eagles will win the Super Bowl this season.
Yeah, what he said. Yeah.
Yeah.
And with that being said, we will see you guys next week.
Y'all have a good one.
Holla at us.
Peace.